Then as you grow, you decide to have a second store or a third store. That becomes a new challenge, right? You realize that as you expand, the quality, whether it's service, whether it's the food quality, will be diluted, right? How do you make sure that you have a work culture, work values that bring people together and still maintain some level of quality that you're happy with?
Right. Thank you so much for being here with us. Really honored to be able to meet you, the co-founder and managing director.
Yes, that's correct.
BurgerLab, which has 10 outlets.
Currently 9
outlets.
10 on the way.
10 on the way. Yeah. We are here today with co-founder and managing director Renyi, and thank you so much for being here with us.
My pleasure, Hakim. Happy to be here.
We are here together with all these.
A lot of food, a lot of burgers.
Yeah. So these are all different burgers.
All different burgers. Something that I wanted to highlight as our specialty lah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Awesome. Maybe you can actually share with me how you actually started BurgerLab.
Okay, so myBurgerLab started exactly 11 plus years ago.
Yeah.
So in 2012, me and my friends, Changming and Wicket, we wanted to break away from the corporate world, right?
Yeah,
and we said we wanted to start our own thing. At first, we wanted to do our own cafe. Back then, the cafe scene was just starting. However, as we moved forward, we realized that there were too many cafes opening at around the same time. So we decided to pivot and do something simpler, which was burgers. Well, when I say simpler, what I meant was that because we didn't have culinary experience, we didn't know how to cook, but burgers was something that we knew was simple enough that we could pick up very easily. So taking inspiration from the likes of In-N-Out and Shake Shack, we said, okay, we want to be the In-N-Out of Malaysia. Okay. And with that, we started our journey of just trying to craft, very basic but done properly burgers. That was the idea. And as for the name, we wanted to be experimental in everything we do, not just in the flavors, but how we did things, whether it's HR, whether it was marketing, and we wanted to be very creative. So hence that's why we use the word myBurgerLab. Yeah. So today, part of what I've shown you here and what you will see on the menu, we have the simple stuff, we also have the creative stuff. So that's how we started our journey.
Understand. So before you actually started this, you started it with your college mates, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So you guys were in the University of Nottingham.
Yes, me and Wicket, University of Nottingham.
Yeah.
Changming, I met him in Inti, we did a diploma together there. So they didn't know each other, I had to kind of bring them together.
Bring them together.
Yeah. But disclaimer, they are no longer part of the business as we have parted ways recently due to COVID. But I can share more about the story later.
Yeah.
But it was thanks to them that BurgerLab was able to be formed and found the success that it has today.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe you could actually share with me what are the struggles that you actually face during this journey since 2012. How many years has it been?
11
years.
Yeah.
That's
actually 12 years. Okay, the actual anniversary is not up yet. July will be the anniversary. All right, so I think this is a very common question that we get asked. What are some of the challenges of running a business or in the entrepreneurial journey? Honestly, it really depends on which stage of the journey you're at. Why I say that is because when we first started the restaurant business, we had no idea what we were doing. That in itself was a challenge, right? Where do we get our licenses, who to hire, where do we get our suppliers? That's the startup stage. Then as you grow, you decide to have a second store or a third store. That becomes a new challenge, right? You realize that as you expand, the quality, whether it's service, whether it's the food quality, will be diluted, right? How do you make sure that you have a work culture, work values that bring people together and still maintain some level of quality that you're happy with? And then you expand furthermore, and you have a HQ team, right? A support team. And again, managing them is very different from managing the operation staff, right? The people who run the store. Then you need to hire a finance person, you need to hire a marketing person, and manage them as professionals is very different. So I think the question is valid, but it's hard to pinpoint what the biggest challenges are.
Because they're different stages.
Yes, exactly. Right? However, there is one common factor, and it's a very obvious one, which is people.
Yeah.
in F&B, and I believe in most businesses, but in F&B specifically, you are in the business of people, in the business of managing people, right? Obviously, you want people to stay with you for as long as possible. Then you need to create a work environment that they want to stay in. You need to create a brand that they are proud of, and they want to continue to grow it. So these are all the challenges along the way. So if I say that my biggest challenges are people, it's not in the sense where it's so difficult to manage people. That is a given. But I think it's the challenge of making sure I have the responsibility and the accountability to take care of my people. So, I mean, although it's been, I think, 4 years now since the pandemic, it still has its lasting effect. How people behave, how people choose to work, how people plan their career path is very different. So I would say in terms of the people segment of challenges, post-pandemic has been super difficult. People are always looking for new opportunity. People want a balance in work and life. And in F&B it's so difficult. Because in F&B, when people are celebrating holidays, when people are eating lunch or dinner, that's when we are working. Right? So how do you balance that? So we had to make a lot of changes over the years post-pandemic, trying to address all these so-called human challenges. And that is what I find the most challenging, but also the most rewarding.
Awesome. So in a way, the people that you actually mentioned is also part of the BurgerLab community, right? That is also what you are.
They are our biggest asset. I think every boss knows that without the people that are fighting for us on a daily basis, working on the ground, facing the customers, they are our biggest asset, because we can't be there forever. We can't be there all the time. And they are the people that will be representing us and showcasing what we believe in, our product, our service, our work values, our culture to the world. So they are our biggest asset.
So I'm sure there's a lot of F&B owners that are listening to this interview right now. Maybe
I hope so.
You could actually one of the main problems is whether in terms of the manpower, right? The people that are in our brand, our company, they are not sure whether they should fire them or they should like nurture them, because some entrepreneurs would actually advise to fire fast, hire fast, so that you know they can see who are aligned with the brand. So what's your take on that?
I don't think there's an actual formula.
There's no
right?
actual formula,
I think it is a very common saying what you said, which is hire fast, fire fast. I think that takes out the human element from running a business. I think we have to be very careful in who we bring into our company. Well, I do not know how other countries' labor law are. In Malaysia, actually, it protects the employee a lot more than employers. So when someone comes on board your business, it's actually harder to get rid of them, right? But that shouldn't be the reason, but I'm just sharing as an extra information. For me, I believe that take the time to go through and filter all candidates.
Okay. So is that hiring process?
Yes, it is.
Interview process, right?
Right. You hire fast. I mean, you just pick anyone from the street. You're gonna have a lot of people who might not fit into your business culture.
Correct.
Right. So take the time to understand what you're looking for. Make sure you're able to use those criteria as a form of filter. A lot of times, I think some businesses, they will ask, "What is your 3-year goal? Tell me 3 attributes about yourself." We still do that from time to time, depending on which layer of people we're hiring. I don't think that really is the important question. I think the important question is speaking to the person and understanding what their characters, their what do you say? I think understanding what their normal
True character.
What their true character are like. And you need to have the conversation. It's not a list of questions. So through speaking, asking them what do they like to do, who are their family members, and through this conversation, you're able to see who they are as a character. And I think that's important. And once you hire them in, obviously provide the right amount of training, provide the tools for them to do their job, provide the pathway for them to be able to grow in their career path, then I think you have that process flow where you're able to bring the right people in and show them, that working in a company, in our company, that there's some path forward. When I say this, I do have a bit of an imposter syndrome. We're not perfect. I know that that's how we're supposed to do things. Sometimes we don't execute everything well. But if you ask me as a question, that's how things should be done. As for firing fast, I do believe that bad apples can cause more harm to the company.
Yeah.
So obviously you would want bad apples to leave the company as quickly as possible. So to me, it's not about, hey, I don't like you or you did something wrong. I'm gonna penalize you in a way that is super unfair and makes you want to quit, right? I think the proper procedure must be done, whether it is warning letters, whether it is PIP, performance improvement plan. Get all of those in place,
Correct.
Hold them accountable, and if they still don't improve or change their behavior, then you can show them the door legally. Here in Malaysia, it's something that not a lot of people practice, and it's very dangerous because they can come back and go through the labor court and sue you, right? So it's not something that I advise employers in Malaysia to do. They should follow due process and make sure that the people that they feel is no longer a right fit for the company exits properly.
Understand. So, for BurgerLab, there's currently 9 going 10 outlets.
Yes.
So, so is it true that I'm sure it's true that you've actually created this proof of concept for BurgerLab first before you actually expanded, right? Maybe you could actually share with me when did you actually thought of expanding BurgerLab
Okay.
and how did it go?
I think in your statement where you said that we have a proof of concept, to this day, BurgerLab is still transforming. We're still trying to find out, what is the best format to move forward. I think every new shop that we open is a better version of the previous ones.
Yeah.
Maybe in a few more years, as we open more outlets, we're able to standardize it. To be fair, the game of opening 1-2 stores versus 5 versus 10 versus 15, 20, and beyond are very different in every stage. Every stage. So for me, I see it as just like individually, our personal growth is a journey. It's not about getting to the end as quickly as possible. It's about understanding yourself, growing, making changes as you see fit. So same goes for the business. So I would say that why we decided to scale back then from the first store to the second store versus why we want to scale now are two very different reasons. Back then it was because, we have a queue outside the door. We are super famous for the last 1.5 years, right?
I heard about that 30 minutes earlier. People already started queuing.
1 hour.
One hour.
It was insane. It was
1 hour.
Singapore level of queues. Right? Jokes aside, we were in high demand, thankfully. And I think what we hear as a new business owner, you have to remember the first 1, 2, 3 years of your business, you're still very, very green. You're still very new. You think you know everything, but in fact you don't, right? And you get a lot of all this input from the side saying, hey, you guys have so much business, people are queuing out your door, you should open a second outlet. Honestly, I think we opened the second outlet for the wrong reasons.
Because other people...
We didn't have the fundamentals down right.
Understand.
Right? But thankfully, we were able to push to the second outlet and the third outlet, and then we built our own centralized kitchen to cater to all the 3 outlets that we have at that time. So it was I guess, firefighting scaling. What does that mean is, it wasn't so much planned as it was, we need this, let's build this. We need that, let's build this. And because we built this, we need this support, and then let's build this. But I think most startups are a little bit like that. I think if I have had years in working in big corporate companies in F&B, let's say, whether it's the M's or the K's, right? Maybe I'll do things a little bit different. I'll come out and I kind of know, okay, I want to be the next big M, right? I want to fight them. Then it would have been built very differently. But the goal originally was just to have a single store, have fun with my friends, and just cook good burgers and enjoy good food.
That was the initial
That was the initial plan. And because of how popular we got, then we realized, oh, this is a serious business, right? So then we did serious business maneuvers. I think it's good to talk to more people in the early stages. Take the time to scale. You don't need to force yourself to scale. Now, let's fast forward to where we are today. Why are we scaling? We believe that the business have reached a certain maturity, that we can serve more people, not just customers, but provide more jobs, right? We believe that we are able to represent Malaysia on an international stage, that this brand can move forward and have franchises across the borders.
including Singapore.
There is an eye on Singapore, however, I'm very cautious. I know that Singapore will most probably welcome myBurgerLab, however, it's a very competitive market.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
not easy.
Definitely.
That I'm very, very aware of.
Definitely,
So while we do want to go in, we are also very, very scared. Let's just put it that way. Yeah.
So it has to be very strategic.
Strategic, and I think I need a very strong local partner who believes in the brand, who understands the local ins and out of how F&B works.
Yeah, maybe I can actually link you up.
Sure, happy to do so.
Singapore side.
Yeah.
Definitely. So it'd be awesome if I could actually have BurgerLab in Singapore.
Or you can bring us in.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that.
No problem.
If I could actually ask you, when in 2012, right? How young were you?
Oh, I was close to 29.
You
I was
were
already
better.
very old, but I just graduated a year ago. So what happened was I actually dropped out of uni around 19, 20 years old.
Okay.
So I was studying to be a mechanical engineer.
Mechanical, yeah.
Long story short, I dropped out. Let's just put it that way. I came back, I was in Australia at that time. I came back to Malaysia. I did a lot of odd jobs, from telemarketing to working in a garage, to working in F&B, until I think I was 26. Then I discovered, okay, I want to go back to school. This is one of the reasons why I encourage gap years. Because when you go into uni too quickly, if you found out that it's not what you want to do, I think people should take their time. I mean, how insane do you think it is that for an 18-year-old, you have to study whether science stream or commerce and decide which college you want to go to, what major you want to take, and that will be what you'll be doing for the rest of your life.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? I don't think it's for everybody. Some people, it works, but I think in this generation where there are so many options. Anyway, long story short, I went back to school at 26, 27. Finally graduated at 28, 29. And then I came out, I realized I didn't want to be an engineer. So I got my degree in engineering and decided that's not what I want to do. I want to try other things. I think as you grow older, you will realize that there are other options, right? To me, getting my degree was more of to say, hey, look, I could have done this. And then the other part is it's a safety net. At the very least, I could go back to being an engineer. So,
if you could actually go back in time, right? What would you advise your
Younger self?
Yeah, your younger self.
don't change anything. I mean, I don't want to look back in life with regret. I think I've made mistakes, but for every mistake that I made, I became a better person for it. I like to think of it that way. Otherwise I wouldn't be here sitting talking to you, right?
Yeah.
I like my life now. I think I found some level of success that I'm happy with. So I wouldn't change anything. Other than maybe buy crypto. Back in the days.
Bitcoin. Bitcoin.
But in terms of my journey, in terms of building BurgerLab, I would not change anything. Yeah.
If you could actually give the number one advice to people who actually wants to take their leap of faith, they are currently in the corporate world.
Okay.
Right? They want to take that leap of faith, like many did, right? Many entrepreneurs did. What would you advise them actually?
I do have a few advice for this because it's a very common question. Question.
Correct.
So I think let's speak from the F&B point of view. A lot of people have this idealized vision of being F&B is like a dream come true. I have my own cafe, I make some latte, and then I serve my customers, I serve some pastries. The thing is, the truth of the matter is when you're running a cafe, it is a business, and when you are not making money, you are going to be shitting your pants, right?
Yep.
And it's not what you love. What you love drinking coffee and say, I'm going to start, roasting coffee, I'm going to start making coffee. You will sooner or later fall out of love of that idea. It becomes business, right?
Yeah.
So before jumping into the deep end, I would say, go into the business, work for somebody else. Go into the cafe world, work at least 1 year. Working 3 months in another cafe and then say, oh, I know everything already and coming out, is not enough. Work at least 1 year. Know that it is hard work. Know that it's difficult to run the business. And don't work at the very ground level. Try to get to supervisor level. At least you get a bit of an insight, right? And then decide whether you want to go into F&B. So again, this advice specifically for F&B.
F&B, yeah.
Another thing when it comes to taking the leap of faith, do that later on in life. Do your corporate job for the first 10 years of your after graduation. What I believe is that there are a lot of young people who are in very privileged position. Their parents work very hard so that the parents can say, hey, don't go work lah. I got a bit of money for you to make some, start your own business, right? And they might be 24, 25 years old. There has been proven results that some people have found success through that. But a lot have not found success and go back to work, right? And became very quiet. You don't hear the non-success story. All the time you hear the success story.
Yeah.
I mean, this is exactly what we're sharing here.
Yeah,
because BurgerLab has some level of success. You're interviewing me. I can only tell you what I've seen and what I've done, but we are not talking enough of the
non-success story.
I wouldn't call it failures. I wouldn't call it non-success, but those people who tried but didn't make it. It's brutal out there, right? And for those that I have had the privilege of coaching or seen their journey, they came out too early. In the first 10 years of your in your 20s,
Yeah.
work in 3 different companies, right?
Just try out new things.
Try out
and
new
explore.
things, build the network that you have. So
Yeah.
this is not for F&B, this is for anyone. So if you happen to be in marketing, you happen to be in whatever other industry there is, go work in 3 different companies. By the time you're 30, you have enough network, you understand how the business works, go start your own thing. Your chance of failure significantly less versus when you are at 23, 24 and you come out and you think, oh no, I know how to do this, I'm going to go for it, right?
Understand.
So that would be my advice.
Understand, because I think some of them, a lot of them actually don't really know what they actually want to do, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, you were in a mechanical engineering course.
Yes.
I was in an aerospace and electrical course.
Did you finish your degree?
I didn't finish.
Okay.
I didn't finish.
Nothing wrong with that. But like
Yeah.
you said, right? A lot of times we are pressured by the whole Asian mentality that
Right.
you got to do step A, step B, step C, right? And if you don't, you are a failure, right? But then as we grow and we do start doing different things and we realize, hey, there is never the end. Even if you fail your exams, even if you drop out, it's never the end, right?
Definitely. Thank you so much.
No, my
for
pleasure.
sharing with me.
My pleasure.
So, don't forget to click the subscribe button for more inspiring tales.